What is good? You're listening to Daniel and Gian talk shit. Back at it once again. Is this the first
episode 89?
Episode 89. I mean, we did a Joker podcast, but it was more of a review than a podcast. Kind of it devolved into that. But man, how's it going today, Daniel? I feel like you're tired, but you seem to be in a better mood than the last couple of times we tried to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just went for a walk as well.
Just went for a walk, went for a stroll. We know what that means.
That means I was exercising. Let's see. What's gone on in the last time since we've talked?
A lot of stuff. Well, first, this is gonna be the last that you and I talk about this Joker stuff on record.
God, here we go.
But no, it's not. It has nothing to do with the film itself. But are you surprised with how well? So I know you said that you thought it was gonna do well, but are you?
The water. Sorry. Am I surprised?
Are you surprised how well it's doing?
No, because it's kind of what I predicted, and you kind of. I'm not. This is not an "I told you so" moment yet because it hasn't crossed like Deadpool levels, but I did call it on an unreleased podcast. I think.
You think you did?
No, I'm saying no. I think I did call it. It was gonna do this. Or maybe it was just me and you in the kitchen talking, because I know for sure I said that it was gonna make between 50 and 75 million opening weekend, and I was wrong.
Right.
But I said it has a potential of the word of mouth that it could spiral and become bigger than Deadpool. Not bigger than fucking Avengers, but bigger than Deadpool. And it's looking like it probably will be bigger than Deadpool. It probably will be the biggest, highest grossing R-rated comic book movie of all time. And I think it deserves it. I do. Because hopefully what this does for movies, the studios they might say, look, they made Joker for $60 million. Mm-hmm. And not just about comic movies, just movies in general. Maybe we can bring back that. I think you need the name, because obviously the name definitely was the reason for it. So you think they could use, this would be a way for them to use other... This is a Wonder Woman moment.
Right. I'm saying more along the lines of like using dead IPs, or known IPs that haven't done so well, and making different movies under those IPs, as a way to kickstart them.
No, I mean exactly what I'm saying, which is when The Town came out, the Ben Affleck movie, mm-hmm. I feel like there was a few bank robbery movies that came out around that time because of that. But whether you hate him or love him, all of Ben Affleck's movies are in that $30 to $60 million range. Then we talk about it all the time that we wish those would come back, because there should be more of, in my opinion, maybe you don't agree, but in my opinion, there should be more of those and less tentpole movies, because then you just get more variety.
So you agree with what Scorsese was saying this last round? I
wish you could have both. If I had a magic wand, I wish you could do both. I wish the studios, because in my opinion, Disney can afford to do it, but they don't. They own Fox now. In my opinion, they should be continuing to pump that same amount of money into their big fucking studios, but also say, we're also going to pump more money into these smaller movies too. And they do it, but we're talking about this specific range. Movies Disney didn't really make before, but I'm talking about just movies in the 70s and 80s that were in that. They were small budget films, but they weren't small budget. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the mid-majors.
And they don't exist. So I'm hoping that this is a Wonder Woman moment, because Wonder Woman came out and what happened? Everything was female-led, female-centric. Ghostbusters, literally just all because of that. They did Captain Marvel, in my opinion, arguably because of Wonder Woman. Captain Marvel would have came out at some point, but it definitely went from 14 movies of no female lead to all of a sudden Captain Marvel.
They definitely pushed it a little faster because they wanted to cash in on that.
And it deservedly so. We didn't have other than literally the ending, the last third. Wonder Woman was okay for what it was, because it could have been worse.
Right.
I hear the Catwoman. Someone was talking about the Catwoman.
Well, they cast Lenny Kravitz and
you were late you were late last week, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay, yes. So before you got there, that's why you don't know what I'm talking about. They were discussing Catwoman, the WB show. I don't know what you're talking about yet, Oh, you're talking about the Batman. No, I'm talking about the WB or CW.
Oh, you're talking
show.
Batwoman.
Yeah, Batwoman. What did I say?
You said Catwoman.
My bad.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah, that show. They were talking about how apparently there was lines in it that were like, they showed Batman's suit or something, and then someone said, I don't remember the line, but something like, "Oh, that's a great suit," or "That's a perfect suit." And then she's like, "Yeah, when a woman gets one," or something like that. Like lines like that,
right?
Which are kind of like on the nose,
a little too much,
pushing the fucking message,
right?
That's what Wonder Woman could have been, and it wasn't.
No,
that's what
not.
I'm saying. So it's going on.
I think Wonder Woman did a good job of staying true to the character for sure. I think like we on our review we got into it a little bit, but I definitely feel like there was the Snyderverse influence was there.
But it was.
It's the best. Like it's the best one out of all those films for sure.
Besides Shazam, but I'm not familiar with the character enough
right.
to say like that's a good portrayal. But it's like you said with the Joker. That doesn't have the essence of the character for you, but the DC ones, at least Wonder Woman and Shazam, do.
Right.
They encompass that. I guess what I'm saying is, but just to summarize my point, I hope that Joker influences studios to take more chances. Regardless of a name or not, they took a chance.
Was this really a chance, though?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like... Look, the money that it's making, I'm shocked that it's like it's at $500 million like worldwide. I was not expecting it to do that. I thought it was going to get people in the seats just by the name, but like I said on the review, like they did the marketing on that film is just amazing because there was people talking about it months before it came out. People are still talking about it now. People are arguing about it. There's still people who haven't seen it arguing with people about it, which blows my mind. That in itself is kind of silly, like.
I hear that. I think the marketing definitely helped and all that, but the movie came out and it was good. No. Just in the general public, I'm talking about here. You might not have liked it. That's fine. It may not be a good movie. That's fine. But the general public seems to. I feel like even though in our segment that we did that'll come out, but probably hopefully before this podcast comes out, where you interviewed people at LA Comic-Con, majority of the people were saying like they didn't like it. But I genuinely believe that everyone that talks about it on social media, maybe it's just fucking clouding, but I think the internet would have to say that that's more liked than disliked. I just think at the end of the day, though, the fact that this did come out and it was a real movie, that's where I think the ballsiness comes in. Because they didn't go with tropes. They did go with tropes, but not comic book tropes.
Right.
All the tropes they went with come from Scorsese, come from gritty 70s movies that we talked about. So it's 100% one of those movies. But it's in a comic book world. Disney, they don't make movies like that. They just don't.
Right.
Marvel would never make a movie like this.
I see that. No,
Ever.
definitely not.
Ever.
Well,
because it wouldn't serve their vision. I think the closest movie you'd get to Joker was Iron Man. And I don't mean because of like very serious. I just mean Iron Man's kind of a standalone movie.
Yeah.
It kind of had its fun moments, but it's kind of it's like a serious.
Well, it was definitely not made to lead into more films.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it was technically because they did have the teaser.
I think it was,
but not to what you would.
It was meant to lead into Iron Man 2. It wasn't meant to lead into.
No, it's meant to lead into the Avengers. But what the Avengers was going to be, no one had any idea when they filmed
That's true, right? Because Samuel L. Jackson shows up at the Nick. So
they were leading up
Fury.
to the Avengers for sure. But I guarantee you they had no idea what that would be or what that would look like or they just knew we're going to do one and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll see what happens after this.
And it blew up.
Yeah.
But I think Iron Man is like the only really, because like in Captain America Civil War, they kind of toyed with the idea of being more serious.
Yeah.
And it absolutely was. You can tell the tonal shift from that one compared to the first one.
Well, I think.
But it still had Marvel like
starting with
moments.
Winter Soldier, like those
Winter Soldier. I said Civil War. Winter
those
Soldier,
original the Russo brother films with Captain America were the most serious ones.
I guess Infinity War would have to be the closest to the Joker, actually.
Well, yeah, because the good guys didn't win.
100% close.
Yeah.
But it's a comic book movie.
Right.
Joker's
I mean,
the Joker's not a comic book.
You got
movie.
a 10-foot tall purple alien bad guy. That's
right, but it's still the stakes were still raised and there were consequences.
Absolutely,
and it got serious, but it still had Fat Thor moments.
Yeah,
there was none of that in this movie. Just like
Fat Thor was an Endgame, but he wasn't in.
What was funny about Infinity War? Nothing.
Korg.
No, he wasn't in Infinity War. Fat Thor, you're right. No, I'm thinking of. Let's see, what the fuck was funny?
I don't think
Korg was in Infinity War. No, he wasn't.
I can't. No, when you see Korg, it's because they're on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Like
maybe that's Marvel's biggest chance is they went.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about it.
To watch again. Yeah, I don't remember.
There had to be something.
I mean, there might have been some smart ass quips by Tony Stark because that's
probably
his
that
thing. But
I know there was the Spider-Man.
Squidward.
The Spider-Man, yeah, with Alien, like his little references. That's kind of it. It's not really a funny movie, I guess. All right, so
It was
fucking
that is the closest.
dark ass Daniel here. Like half of everybody dies in this film, and he's trying to find the humor.
There has to be fun. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's no.
Remember, Ant-Man's not in the movie at all.
Type in Infinity War funny moments in Hindi. All funny moments.
And he's like, "Shut up, Squidward."
Oh,
This part.
I think. I guess that's funny because it's Stan Lee.
Let's like to go there, please. The rabbit is correct.
You have the remote.
That part's funny.
This is funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
You seem like a noble leader. Will you join me on my quest to Nicolia?
Now, let me just ask the captain. Oh, wait a second. It's me. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, all the Guardians moments are hilarious.
He's a king.
Until Star-Lord fucking ruins everything.
Here, give me the remote. Deaf.
We don't do that here. So how big of an assault should we expect?
Master the ability.
This part. That's the funniest part.
So incredibly still that I become invisible to the eye. So slow that it's imperceptible. I'm sure I'm invisible.
Hi, Drax.
Damn.
Yeah, okay, we can pause it. Okay, so I just forgot because the darkness was so dark in this movie that I just forgot about these lighter moments. But clearly, there's 10 minutes worth, and
Well,
there's no 10 minutes of that in the Joker. There's comedic bits.
There's tension breakers.
100%.
Yeah.
Because it's formula.
Yeah.
The formula that Joker took was a formula that is not meant to sell tickets. But because of the name, it did sell tickets.
It's just Drax.
So,
Right.
in a weird way, and after like rewatching the movie, like I can actually kind of see where the people's arguments were about this leading people to be like empowered. Like it didn't register with me the first time I watched
The
it.
incel stuff is starting.
Not the incel stuff. The incel stuff's stupid because I didn't know what incel was, and you explained it to me.
Right.
There was no fucking. There you could make the argument that he did kill what's her name. I don't even know her character name, but
I don't even think she had a name.
there's an argument after rewatching it that you could say that he actually did kill her after he snuck into her apartment. But it's like a lot of things in that movie. It's up to interpretation because they don't show you definitive things. But what was it? Oh, fuck, what was my point? I really just forgot my point.
Oh, that people could get empowered by watching the film.
Oh, yeah. So the incel thing, yeah, incels. But then once I figured out what incel meant, I'm like, no, there's no way. But I could see how someone could watch this movie and think it's smart to, like, not smart, but powerful to, like, kill somebody on TV.
Yeah.
Or some sort of, like, aspect
to
like
make
that.
a statement.
To make a statement. Because that's what I actually really enjoyed the second time I watched the movie is, like, after he kills De Niro and then the chaos that happens after.
The riot starts.
I'm like, that's pretty fucking strong. Like, for me, it actually really hit me where I was like, wow, if I was that loose and I saw this and I was on the edge, I was already thinking about doing something.
It could push you over the edge.
You could.
Right.
It's not enough for me to, like, we should not fucking show the movie. Like, I think that's stupid. Like, the day one when I went to go watch it, there was cops. Because you watched it day one too.
Yeah, there was cops in the lobby. It was ridiculous.
And I went to see last year. I went to see Hamilton at the Pantages, and I talked about it on this show before. Like,
You started paying attention to the exits and what would happen.
well, there's no, like, there was no fucking metal detector. Like, they don't pat you down. They don't
Right.
want you. Like, you could just literally walk in with whatever and blow the theater up.
That's interesting.
They don't do any of it.
Because they
and
have
it's a modern
like,
fucking.
They have all of those now. Like at Disneyland, they didn't have it before.
I know.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Every ball game has them now. Like
I was legit paranoid for the first 30 minutes. Because
Disneyland?
no, at the Pantene. I was that worried.
had it recently happened?
It was last year.
Okay, but did you go to see the show like a week after a mass shooting? Or something
I don't
happened?
know. Maybe, probably. I mean, I don't remember when I was. It could have been after the Las Vegas thing. It might
Right.
have been around that time, actually. Either way, though, it made me super paranoid to not walk through a metal detector.
Yeah,
Because that's the simplest fucking... Like, everybody has a metal detector.
which is crazy how much fear we have.
But it made sense.
I think about it too. Like
'Cause Contagious
I think
is
about
not
it like
small.
when you go to smaller venues, they don't have metal detectors and they don't have anybody checking your patting
They
you
do.
down. At smaller venues.
Yeah, for concerts. That's why I'm saying it made me so paranoid because they didn't, and it's the Pantages.
Well, what do you consider a smaller venue though? Like do you consider
Like the Roxy?
they don't have metal detectors there?
No, I'm not saying them, but I'm saying like that size.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they have
I
metal
haven't been
detectors
to-
at the
I
Roxy.
haven't been to the
I might be
Roxy.
wrong. It's been a while since I've been there too. But like Palladium, they have metal detectors, and that's a smaller venue technically.
I know they have them at the Wiltern.
Yeah, absolutely. Like those places for sure.
The Greek, like the Forum.
I mean, those are
aren't
perfect.
small.
Those if I was gonna make an attack and my FBI agent, I know you listen to this. I would
If.
it's a big if, I would never do that. But like concerts and stuff like that would be like the perfect.
But it happened in England.
Well, they don't.
The Ariana Grande.
See, that's the funny thing is like all the the freedoms that we have here, but you're always gonna see shit like that. But that was in Germany actually.
No, it was in England.
The Ariana Grande, I think that was in Germany.
Google it. Ariana Grande bombing.
It was in.
I'm pretty sure it was in England, the O2 Arena. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it was the O2 Arena, but I think it was
The bombing or shooting?
just bombing. No, it was a bombing.
It was a bomb.
Manchester
Manchester.
Arena.
Oh, it was.
That's definitely England.
2017.
That 22 people, like that's at Ariana Grande concert.
Of all the places to go after.
I've
people.
met her. She's tiny. Why
Yeah.
you would know? Why would you want to kill her?
They don't like her cultural appropriation.
She's like she's like so tiny. She's like a twig. She's
Where'd you
literally
meet
like
her?
well,
At
One
a
of the
concert?
meet and greets with the ex.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't like they were stalking, not her but her boyfriend at the time.
Was she dating one of those guys?
Yeah. No, I don't
One
remember.
Direction.
I don't remember which
Fuckers.
one. So
Big Sean.
so we were
Rest in
there.
peace, Mac Miller.
camping out, and then they finally came, and then they went and like interacted with the guys that they were, and it was just like me and her just standing there.
Like she's sitting there, no, he's paying
But
attention.
she wasn't. I knew who she was from Disney at that point.
This was what
She-
year?
This was like
2012.
3 or 4
2013?
years ago, longer than that. 5 years ago,
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Before
Yeah.
she
6 years. Yeah. 7? No, it's probably 7 or 8 years ago.
You know what? Call me weird. I don't find her attractive.
She is in person.
Ariana Grande 2013.
But-
she looked like a child.
No, I think she looks. No, she didn't look like that. It wasn't 2013. Maybe she did. I don't know. But I was also younger too.
Yeah,
I was closer to her.
like she looks like a child to me even now. Like even her trying to be all sexy and stuff, she looks like a little kid to
Yeah,
me.
the glow up didn't work.
Well, I mean, I was at that time. That would be 19, 20. I don't know how old she is, but my point is, they were taking pictures, and then me and her were just kind of standing there.
Right.
And I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't. I felt weird interacting with her.
You were like, so you live around here?
You come here often?
Yeah.
No, that's the
Your
whole.
show?
That's the whole thing. I was just like, it didn't. But that, yeah, I didn't want to be like, can we have a selfie? I just, like, they were.
Yeah, you didn't.
Was she on her phone or something? Or
No,
like, she
we were just standing there.
She was like, hi.
She wasn't as famous then. She got
No,
famous
she was
in-
famous.
But
She
I
was
knew who
Disney famous.
not like
so-
now.
I knew who she was.
She was
Now she's
what?
She was singing.
international.
She was singing at that time.
I don't even know what show she was on Disney. That shit's all way
She
too
was
old for any of
on,
that stuff.
her own
Victorious.
I don't know. Yeah, he knows. I don't know that. But I'm just saying, like that was she's tiny
Who would want to blame?
Who would wanna
wanna
bomb
blow her
her?
up because she's so tiny?
for sure.
Speaking of blowing up, guys, the Dodgers, man.
Yeah. They suck.
They did.
So what's happened? No, let's be honest here. What has happened that you were just not a baseball fan as much as you used to be?
You haven't watched the game.
Yeah,
You
like-
don't
like
watch
you-
the
yeah,
games
like-
every
Well, we
season.
canceled cable, so that's a thing.
Okay.
That like because
But you guys have Time Warner, or did you have?
we had Time
Spectrum.
Warner.
Oh, okay, so you
Well,
had
Spectrum. Yeah.
you had
And
the.
so we canceled, and then from there, that automatically drops because if I'd be editing, like when I had I'd be editing and I just have the game on in the background,
Right, so
on
you-
mute, just on mute. So if I like, I'd edit. Normally the way I edit is I'll edit for like 20 minutes straight, and then I'll like take a break, a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
I'll turn around, stand up, do whatever, and then go do the same thing. So I'll turn around, look at the game, see what it. But now no cable, I don't have it. 'Cause the only way to be able to do it is if I had like another
Stream it.
yeah,
still.
and it's in other steps, and I just forget about it because I don't know the schedule. But
I stopped watching as much when I didn't renew because I've been streaming it this whole time.
MLB TV.
Yeah, I didn't renew MLB TV. It's like $120 a year, and the last time was when the baby was born. So like I pretty much watched that whole season in 2017 because I was with the baby, like in my arms, rocking him to sleep and stuff, and I'd have the games on. But after that, I was like, you know what? I can't really spend this $120.
If you have T-Mobile, it's free for
Well,
the whole year.
well, MLB Network really kept me into baseball.
Oh, like all the
When-
highlights
during
and
the
stuff.
cable, MLB Network's great. Like I fucking spend all day. Like if I genuinely, if they had MLB Network and it was like $3 to $5 a month, I would totally pay for it. Because it's just you're watching actual baseball players talk baseball,
Right.
and it's not just like
Yeah, when it first came
ESPN
out, it
people.
was the shit.
Yeah, and you like it was. I don't know what it's like now, but this is a few years ago, and it just was interesting.
Well, it's funny that you need MLB Network because ESPN doesn't talk about baseball anymore. Like baseball, like
That's
The
why I
Dodgers
liked it.
lost.
That's
Yeah.
why
So
Football.
Baseball Tonight was like a show I'd watch religiously growing up, but I don't even know if they do Baseball Tonight.
I'm sure they still have it. They still do
It's
like
on
the Sunday
ESPN
night.
too.
Yeah, they still do the Sunday night baseball and all that stuff. But it's just like
they skip over.
it's like the sport is definitely dying here. Like
It's not dying. It's as big as ever. It's just not America's sport anymore.
I don't know if it's as big as ever.
I think, well, attendance, like for the Dodgers, attendance levels are records. Fucking Giants always
Because
sell
people
out.
are not Dodger fans everywhere, like football.
No, I
fans
know.
is-
I think that
you know.
the other than like the fucking Florida teams or like Tampa Bay and whatever, that they just fucking the
The
Marlins, they
Marlins.
just don't, their fans just don't support the team no
Yeah.
matter what. I feel like people are into it
Well,
still.
well, I think it's just because of where it's located, and you have that. It's the same people at the games all the time, and most of the time they're not even watching the game; they're getting hammered, and
But what's wrong with
it's
that?
like a social event.
But that's a football game.
Right? It's only
I've never
once
been to a
week.
football
That's
game.
meeting.
I've never been to a football game. But that's what I mean. Well, the USC. That's how USC
Football,
is.
football is the easiest sport to follow because there's only 16 games and it's only once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
So like that's all. And even football, football's suffering on a different level because of fantasy.
Because they're racist.
Like people. It's amazing how like nobody cares about teams anymore. Like all they care about is their fantasy lineups. That's all they. Oh,
because teams
just that.
promote teams
Yeah.
promote
Like
racism.
Patriots.
Well, I've actually I got a job at NFL Network and like that's one of their concerns is like
Racism?
no, they don't care about racism.
Don't say that.
The fact that
NFL Network cares about racism for sure.
absolutely no, but the fact that people aren't
What,
as into
promoting it?
teams as they used to be, and they're more after players because it's like it's costing them money. Like people aren't going to the games the way they did before.
Like there was a period of time when we were both really into it because it wasn't, when they first were going to the fucking NLDS, woo woo woo, eliminated. Fucking second year eliminated. Like what like
You're getting sick of being an
No,
Atlanta
we got
Braves
excited,
fan
and they'd get a
from the
little bit.
90s.
They got a little bit farther. They'd like, oh, now we finally made it to the NLCS. Get eliminated, like, and then we finally made it. So like,
You
it
felt
was,
like there was a progression.
it was
The
progressing,
First World Series was lit, but
and then you're just like, and then the same shit. But it was still miserable to go through every year because the same exact
7
shit
years.
would happen
2012.
when everything counted. The same fucking people wouldn't hit. Like you just swap names out.
Well, I talked about it. Like
And so I'm saying
the organization is in this weird this weird.
And the All-Star, you can't even buy fucking All-Star game tickets, which is another thing.
The All-Star game is ridiculous. Like I don't understand that whatsoever. Like
I want to go. I was so
they
excited.
don't sell like I think unless you have season tickets.
Yeah.
And then everything
You
else.
have to buy a quarter
it's like
of the season.
and it's like only a tiny amount of tickets get allotted out anyways.
No, if you buy a quarter of the season or more,
you're guaranteed.
yeah. Well, you're guaranteed purchasing. If you don't, you have like
You have to pay for them.
yeah. You have to.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like
You get
for the
a
longest time, like for example, like
You're gonna get
Super Bowl
tickets.
tickets, like
You get it.
it's
no,
a
you,
lottery and only like a small allotment. Everything else is press. Like everything is like for rich
If you were
people,
to if you were to actually sign up for, it's funny because a lot of people signed up. The game we were at, if you were to sign up,
for season tickets for 2020.
then you would get one ticket one ticket would be 2 people, one package for NLCS and then the World Series, plus All-Star game,
Okay.
and that was at a quarter of the season.
Right.
That's like their low. But I mean that game. I mean it sucks. I want to go. That's the thing. I want to fucking go. They're gonna renovate the stadium and all this shit. But I just, when the fuck do they have All-Star games in Dodger Stadium?
Right.
Never.
I'm less interested in the All-Star game, but I'd like to go to like a home run derby.
Well, to
Like,
me,
that's-
it's the whole week. If
The
I was gonna
celebrity
go,
softball
I would
game?
go to the whole fucking week. I'd want to go to everything, and get some. I don't care where the fuck I sit. Just
I
to
don't
go
even know.
would be cool.
What is another way
But
to get tickets? Like
Fucking
besides that?
StubHub.
You want to get that
No.
Dodger hat with the All-Star game on it? The All-Star.
Well, you can get that anywhere.
Look at the logo.
It's not the
Come on.
same, all
Yeah, it's a
right?
logo.
It's not. It's not the same. No, I'm saying you can get. They're gonna sell that hat. Fucking. You can buy that hat now. I could have bought that hat.
Oh yeah, there's some Mexican right now. It's on the corner with it.
You know what my thing
The
is?
bootlegs.
Yeah.
You know what I really want? More than I mean, obviously the Dodgers to win the World Series, but I want them to win the fucking World Series so I can actually buy a World Series hat.
You have one, don't you?
No, I have a World Series beanie that I didn't buy, so they're nice. My mom got it. It was on
Doesn't
sale.
count unless they win the ship.
Yeah,
I have last year's World Series.
or I went
hoodie.
to the game.
You gotta get the one where they put the little the trophy on the side of the hat.
Yeah,
Like,
that says you fucking won.
yeah.
How does it feel to have your team win a championship?
It's amazing, man. It's just great feeling.
I don't know.
So I hope you guys
If
never
only-
get that feeling.
If only we cared about like hockey and stuff
Nah.
or basketball. I grew up when everyone was winning except the Dodgers. I mean, literally,
Even
even
when
the
the
fucking
Lakers won,
Angels
I
won the
like-
World Series when I was growing up.
It's still a Dodger town, man. It's
I
still
know.
a Dodger town.
You just become a Dodger fan, and
There's so much shit going on like around the world that we're just I don't know how I'm not paying attention to it. Are you paying attention to it?
No,
Like,
I have enough shit going on in my own life. I don't really.
It's-
It doesn't bother me, and and I'm one voice, one person. What am I gonna do?
Right.
Was there a vote for me to sanction the president to pull out the troops? No.
Nobody asked.
It's his
I was
job
actually
as a
talking more
commander-in-chief.
about all the
Oh,
shit that's going on with China and the NBA.
I don't even know what's going on with China.
So
much stuff.
I don't follow. See, I follow. If you don't follow things, then I follow even less things than you don't
So
follow.
the owner of the Rockets spoke out because Hong Kong is having like a lot of issues. With
I really don't
mainland
even know what
China.
the fuck is going on in Hong
Some
Kong.
kind of-
Other than,
They're like
Give a speech thing?
yeah, they're like
well, I
rioting.
know it has to do with Britain and like the 99-year thing, and like the people who are living in Hong Kong during this period want to stay living in that way.
Right.
And China's like, nah, fool.
They're trying to switch it up, and now they're like rioting and stuff. And the
Which is justified. I think it's great.
and the owner,
Fuck the system.
They're
Let them
burning
do it.
LeBron's jersey.
the owner of the
They should
Rockets,
screen the Joker for them.
the owner of the Rockets made a statement supporting the people of Hong Kong, and immediately like the NBA was like,
Well, that's because there's so many.
Shut it
fucking-
down.
There's so many
Well,
Chinese people
dude,
who love basketball.
they were saying, I read an article like if China were to pull out of any NBA sponsorship,
Which I hope they do.
it would like drop, like the salary caps would have to drop down.
hope they do
like
so
25 million each team or something insane. Like it's like $1 billion or something.
I really hope they do.
So much money for
You
out
know
of
why?
China.
You know why I hope they do?
So now, why is that? Because you hate basketball?
No. That would be something that would awaken the American people to being like, oh, maybe China is a problem. Maybe there is something going on. Because they're not going to... If all of a sudden they start seeing headliners, it's like Chinese pull out the thing, like, because they had so much money and they read all those things, and then the news journalists would write, it's not just the NBA, you know, all of these businesses.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you'd raise awareness and you might
And then
say,
people start realizing how in bed these companies are.
oh, China owns the...
Yeah.
I remember watching documentaries like right after high school and junior college, and they were already saying like, if China pulls out of if they try to collect all their debts, we'd be bankrupt. Like they were saying that shit then, which is fucking, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, 8 years ago. And I buy shit from China all the time. I told you I bought new whatever the fuck these earmuffs things. I bought this pack of 2 for $2 from China. If I wanted to buy OEM Sony ones, which these are probably them, just fucking rebranded.
It's funny, like if you
it's
buy,
like $50. You might as well buy a new pair of headphones.
You buy the knockoff action figures on eBay, the ones that come from like they're from China. The molds are good. Yeah, the molds are pretty much the same, but the paint applications aren't as good, like for sure. But it's essentially the same figure, and I think it's just because they have the molds there, so somebody is like.
I think that's 100%.
The same factory's still making the figures, but just not
lights
paying
that we have.
Hasbro.
The lights that we're using right now are from China. The C-stand is from China.
How can you live with yourself?
This T-shirt, no.
This might be made in China. I don't know. My Hannibal Lecter shirt.
I only buy shit that's made in Indonesian sweatshops.
Honduras.
Yeah, got to keep it in the Americas at least.
Keep it Latin.
Yeah.
Made in Poland. This was made in
there
Poland.
you go.
It's a Polish. I don't even know. I didn't know they made clothes.
Apple products.
What? Yeah. So, anything else about the NBA in Hong Kong?
Oh, just amazing. Like, well, what's funny to me is the people like trying to like lambast the NBA for what they're doing. It's kind of like they're still a business. The players are coming outside, like, and
it's
LeBron.
Not the NBA's fault that
and then they went
Yao Ming made it popular.
Yeah, that's true. They went to LeBron, I think, to tell him to talk to like cool it down. And all he did is made it worse. Like everyone's calling him a sellout because he was like, "Hey guys, you don't know the whole story," kind of thing. Or,
what is the whole story though?
I don't know. I don't know what the whole story. All I know is that the owner it started with the owner from the Rockets. He spoke out. He supported the people in Hong Kong, and then he got shut down. Like the commissioner was like, "Hey,
why did the NBA say anything though?
Why did they tell him not to say anything? Because of the money."
I know, but was there did China release a statement?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd they say?
I think they were threatening to pull out of
okay.
Yeah.
That's different.
So they went on
I thought it was like unprovoked this whole time.
No.
Like he said it and they're like, no, guys, which just makes it worse.
Right.
If China said something, then why are you... They make it seem like the NBA... oh, nice. Dead Chinese lady on the fucking Twitter. They make it seem like the NBA is this self-righteous organization that's not allowed to, like, respect their sponsorships and shit. But then these same people will, like, bank with Bank of America or whatever bank, and they'll fucking let them do all these backdoor dealings that they're not aware of.
Well, the funny thing about it is, like, all this stuff...
It's a fucking business.
All the stuff that the NFL is going through with Kaepernick and whatnot, and people thinking he's getting blackballed from the league, and no one has said anything about how the NBA has, like, the strictest policies when it comes to any sort of stuff like that. Like,
they don't let white
They
people
do
in.
not let you talk politics on anything. Like, you didn't see anybody kneeling at the basketball games. Like, it's like, you guys aren't allowed to do this, and you know it going in. So there's no political demonstrations with the NBA at all.
Well, I mean, also the league's like, Google how much of the league is African American.
I mean, what does that have to do with doing protests in the game?
Not the people. Sorry, the audience. The audience.
Of basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all white.
You think it's all white?
Absolutely, those tickets are expensive as shit.
No, I'm talking about like the
TV,
like everybody, fans.
I think basketball is pretty. The demographics for the audience.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty across the board. Everybody loves basketball.
I don't know.
It's not as popular as football, but
the way I look at it,
basketball's got the easiest jersey to wear. Like the gear's the easiest to wear.
I'm not
it's
talking
the easiest game to play.
I'm not talking about the physical appearances and shit like that.
No,
I'm talking about
the audience.
Well, the way I look at it is like this.
You think it's more of an urban sport?
I think it's no. I think it's reflective of the players playing.
Okay.
That's why I think that if black people really started to protest the NFL, that the NFL might. It's a strong.
Acquiesce
It's strongly white in my opinion because I think it was white for so long and just established that way. And then you have college football and things like that, which you have depending on what school you're at. But I mean, overall as a whole, the
Where
whole
the
country
school's
plays
located,
it.
yeah.
The whole country plays it. But yeah, see, okay, look, this is the Nielsen rating. Time spent watching NBA: 62% African American. 2015. Asian Americans 57%.
That's interesting.
White is 13%. What I was gonna say is I think it's reflective of the players playing. That's where I'm basing this.
Because there's not as many white players and there's not as many Latino
and
players.
It's mostly black people. So I'm assuming that they're gonna have a lot more like people interested.
Which
in
is
the
interesting
sport.
because football, you could say that the demographics of the players on the football field as well. I mean, there's definitely more white guys in the NFL than there are in the NBA, but still.
I think I'm just saying that's where my.
How much of that do you
That's
think?
my
Also,
mentality.
well,
not for me being racist or saying
how much of that do you
culture.
also
I'm
think?
saying it came out reflective of the players.
No, I get it. But how much of the football thing do you think has to do with them wearing helmets?
You don't get to see them being black.
Because you don't see their faces, so you don't like.
I guess you're not really being black. You are black.
Because you don't see their faces, all you really see on the football field is a uniform. So like that's what you connect to the uniform more than you do the players themselves.
No, I don't even think it has anything to do with that.
Well, you see that the basketball players have a brand. You can't say that for all football players.
You gotta take a step back because what all you're talking about is fine, but it's all conjecture because it all comes down to they only started doing the Pledge of Allegiance because of the Army football.
Right.
I don't think fucking NBA ever did that other than the finals.
You mean the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah,
The national anthem.
The national anthem.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that they, like for football they didn't even start?
Football started doing it because the military was getting a decline in
That's what I'm
recruiting. So
saying.
the military paid for them to do it and run advertisements.
So that's the only reason why it even
using
became
as
a thing at
recruiting
all.
tool. Yeah.
No one fucking. They never.
No, but that's not what
televised
I'm asking.
They
That's not-
never televised.
That's
it.
not. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, if we did the same thing to break down the viewership of NFL, what would the demographics
I don't
be
know.
like?
Google it.
And I'm saying,
Of what?
And same thing you just Googled, but NFL instead of NBA.
that's wrong link to click.
Well, let's keep talking. He'll find it. That's his job, not our job.
What I'm saying is, there's not as like a ton of white. Like, yeah, see, according to this, most the white
This
people.
is 2013 though, which is going to be. We have to acknowledge that because this is prior to
6 years
the
ago.
huge, like rise of social media and like black empowerment that's come in those last few years. I feel like it's, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. I think it's a real thing.
Right.
That like our culture has shifted to be even more like accepting. It's almost like, you know, everything started with civil rights and we're continuing to evolve. And then I think we evolved like a Pokemon into another stage of like
I think it's
acceptance of African Americans, like even more so. You know, Oscar's not so white. Or
But
whatever.
even in 2013, the majority of the players on the field are going to be black.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Right. And I'm saying the difference being because they wear helmets, because they wear those uniforms, people identify more with the uniforms. Then you do the basketball players. You see their faces. They're talking. They have brands, sponsorships. Like, you know the basketball players. Football players are a little harder to, unless you know the team. Like Tom Brady, everybody knows Tom Brady.
I was going to say that.
You know, but that's
most quarterbacks are white.
Right. That's
Very
true.
few are black, and the quarterback is the team. I think that arguably, you know, they represent, and there's so many fucking players. Unless you're like a Jerry Rice, and that was the first black person I could think of. You have to be or T.O. or whatever. Like you have to be very fucking good to stand out because you're like a body. You know, you have to be an extremely good wide receiver or have a good college career. Like because you're not gonna know the fucking big black dudes or the big Samoan dudes who are like defensive. I don't know what they're called. Linemen or what? Yeah. Why the fuck would you know that he's a lineman? You just know he's a big black guy or a big fucking white dude or a big. Because like you said, you have a helmet. It's just a big fucking dude.
Right.
It doesn't like those are people that don't. Whereas in basketball, you got 5 people in the court. You know all the players, and the teams have selected these one individual person, and they all have rookie card. They all have fucking but people don't collect lineman cards. They might get an autograph of like
football cards.
something. Oh, they're football cards, of course. But I'm just they're different sports. Even baseball.
People just aren't collecting cards in general.
Even baseball, it's like you're big guys, and then kind of you have to really be into the sport to know everyone.
You have to really be into the team to know that
Whereas
the second baseman who hits 8th.
but I'd argue most NFL fans don't know the whole fucking the whole team. Like
Right.
their whole team.
Well, the fantasy football comes into play as well because you only focus on the position players in fantasy, you know.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
just-
lot of factors, but for sure, yeah.
It's not the same. And historically, NFL is a white sport
Right.
and has not been completely dominated and overrun like basketball has been, or baseball has been for Hispanics. I feel like, because there's hardly, and I don't think there's hardly any African Americans playing MLB.
No, there's not.
Ice Cube said something recently.
Well, I know people have mentioned it because black baseball players used to be like really important. You know,
It was the reason why. Oh, Ice Cube, Dodgers can win with some black ball players.
Well, okay, Ice Cube. Here's the problem with this. All right, black people need to play baseball.
That's what.
That's it. Like they're not playing baseball
It's true.
anymore, and I think the big divide that would happen, and this is all bro science here, but once hip hop became mainstream music, hip hop aligned with basketball. So all these guys who wanted to be baseball players,
You got the shoes.
yeah,
and all that
exactly.
shit.
Baseball stopped being cool. That's number one, and then number two. Baseball culture has become so fucking expensive. Like youth league baseball dude. Why are 11-year-olds having pitching coaches and hitting coaches? Why are they playing travel ball year round? Like,
Well, they have to because they think they're going to become the next
Especially in
big
Southern
best
California
player.
is crazy.
Someone broke it down to me once. I think my friend Lefty. I don't remember how he broke it down, but he was like, people don't understand what a Mike Trout is, like how good he is.
Right.
They just don't get it. Like you see him on TV, but he's so good that he stands out. Like he was like saying like the worst player on any team is better than 100% of like all the people in Los Angeles.
right.
Like at the same age or whatever. It's just like, and not only is he better than that, he's better than Southern California.
It's
like,
very rare that someone gets like it's
because you have to be good to be good, just period. You have to be good, and then you have to be good enough to like be playing baseball at a good team, like a good college or university, or good enough in Cuba or Puerto Rico or wherever the fuck, and then be good enough to where there's tons of them.
there's also the age thing too. There's a lot of
But you get what I'm saying, and then that's just to get it into like a tryout, and then you have to get past the tryouts to get on single A, double A, triple A. And then be good enough to even make the MLB roster, and then be good enough to stay on the roster, play in the league long enough to actually get contracts, and then still like maintain it. Like, so we can shit on Kershaw, we can shit on whoever ends. He is one of the greatest pitchers to pitch during a certain time, like at one point, because there was nobody
definitely
better.
during this era,
that run where he's modern ball one of the best pitchers.
the last 10 years.
Maybe not postseason. That's fine. It's a factor. But if you put him against anybody like of normal caliber, it wouldn't beat you. You could fucking line up every college player playing, and he outpitched most of them.
Well,
I think the battery died.
Well, I was in that world too. They should tell me there's only 30 teams and there's 25 spots.
yeah,
That's only 750
Okay.
players out of. Like,
it's still on. Not anymore because
no, I died.
But either way, they're like the best of the best. So,
They're good.
but you got it. It's harder to make a living in the
Ain't-
MLB.
This is the only time I'm going to defend Kershaw. All right, you got to win those regular season games in order to choke in the postseason. So
and he wins them often.
yeah, so that's definitely a factor in all of this. But any of these pro sports, you got to be the best of the best. It's very rare. Like I know baseball, there's definitely some discrimination that happens with age. Like if you're an older college player, let's say you like.
Unless you're Rich Hill, man. Rich Hill's still going to be pitching next year. He's
Pitchers
fucking
are
38,
pitch till they're
39.
50.
Well,
Or total-
left-handed pitchers are like rare,
And he's a fucking
and it's
big
just,
dick mountain.
Yeah, as long as there's
I was at a
as
concert.
long
I
as you're
thought I
throwing
saw
strikes.
him. I thought I saw him because there's this big, tall, white dude who looked just fucking like him. But they were like in Arizona or something because I texted him like, "Is Rich Root there? Are they here?"
Should have seen all
But I mean
Yeah.
more along the lines of breaking in. Like if you're a super senior in college, like,
There's a reason why The Rookie is a movie.
yeah, It happens.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't happen.
No, that's
why
it's
it's
a
a
fluke.
movie.
Yeah, because
It doesn't
it's
happen.
never happened. No, absolutely not.
It happens,
Right.
but it doesn't happen.
But I just know from like other experiences, like if you're 24 and you're a senior in college, you're old.
You're probably not going to play in the MLB.
Yeah, even if you're good, they're not because
you have to be like, I don't even know if Bryce Harper did that, but you'd have to be like that, or a Mike Trout, where it's like year after year they keep saying,
But-
okay, if you come this year, we'll give you $25 million
if
signing
you were
bonus.
if you were Mike Trout or Bryce Harper, you wouldn't have been waiting till 24 to get drafted.
I'm just, but I'm saying if you're that good and you're choosing education,
yeah,
it might fuck you, but if you're that good, they will definitely wait
right.
for sure. Especially if,
Only
like,
if they know that you're going to be in the major leagues in less than a year. Like this,
well, obviously, but I agree with you.
there's-
If you're a senior,
there's
and
a
you're-
reason why they're going to Dominican Republic and signing 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know.
Even if you're super good, they still put you in the minor leagues for 2-3 years.
Yeah, it's very rare.
very rare,
It's not like the NBA.
and they're not ready.
There's some guys who sign contracts where they have to get put on the major league roster immediately.
Yeah, that fucking Cuban.
You know.
It was supposed to be the second Puig. I forgot his name. Hector.
Alex.
No, something.
Ooh, yeah.
He went to the
Oliveira or
Diamondbacks.
something
But
like
Alex
They-
Guerrero?
No,
that. Nah.
he traded him. He had a guaranteed, like he can't be cut or he can't be
Put in the minor
put in the
leagues.
minors. Otherwise, they'd cut him, and the Dodgers just fucking traded him or they cut him. I forgot. But he was like,
I thought it was Guerrero.
no, and I don't even know if it's him. But it was
No,
like,
it's not him. I forgot. His
but
name.
it was
He didn't do anything.
he didn't do shit. But it was this Cuban, like that was his whole thing, and they just
Right.
he didn't do anything.
Fucking.
Fernando Rodney, the oldest player, is 42.
He pitched. He's in the
signed the World Series.
motherfucking World
Oh,
Series.
did Bart Rollo finally
Yeah,
finally
last year.
retire?
Yeah, that
Oh
was last year. He
man.
was 44.
Allegedly, the guy might have been like 50.
Fucking old ass dude.
Yeah. Fucking 350
That's why
pounds
the
of.
oldest players are always pitchers.
Of
'cause they
old.
can fucking throw still.
Dude, what happened to Puig too? That guy just. Remember
He's
when
still
you guys
fighting.
were all excited about Puig?
Hey,
Daniel never
no.
liked Puig.
I liked Puig before he came up. I was excited before they made the call, like because I read an article about him. It was like the year before, so I was following him in the background. I'm like, oh, he's gonna blow up. And then that first 50 games or so, he was amazing. He was when he broke onto the scene. I don't care what team you liked.
wild horse.
Everyone was like, who is this fucking guy? And then the league caught up to him, and he never fucking
He didn't make
once.
the adjustments, yeah.
And even when he did, it would last for a little bit.
Last year he did. That's why they took him. The Reds. Yeah. He did okay.
Well, they thought he needed to change the scenery. That's why.
Because Greinke wanted to fuck him up.
Great.
There's all those stories about him talking about how he hated Puig. And he just wanted to fucking. They say that's one of the reasons why he was okay with going to the Dodgers the Diamondbacks because they still had Puig at that point. But no, I didn't really defend. Like I don't like Manny Machado and all that. But yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
What do you think about Jonah Hill? Like,
Being the Penguin? Well, apparently
no,
not
he's
anymore.
not going to be. Yeah.
Exits.
I wonder why. That's my only question. But I don't need to know why. Okay, he's not in it? Great. Cool. Moving on. Like, for me, it's like,
Better for me. I can't stand that guy.
I like Jonah Hill. And he could have done it, but you know what? If he doesn't want to do it, then that's fine. Like, okay, cool. I get why people talk about it, but it's a non-issue for me.
Because people were excited about it. Maybe.
It's like, but it's like you
I don't
don't
even know why they're excited.
you
about
don't
it,
know
though.
what's gonna happen until you see the movie, and like I personally think that you're gonna be surprised by Robert Pattinson as Batman. I'm not saying you're gonna like it. I think that he's going to illustrate that he can act more than you think. I'll leave it at that.
They said he's been doing those indie movies.
He's been
Have you
seen
any of those?
100%. I know he's
You have
I
seen it?
know he's a good actor.
His acting chops is not what I'm worried about at all. I'm worried about him
Is he gonna be sparkly?
Well, you think he's gonna be?
being a fucking
Sparkly.
pussy. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
No,
saying. I
I'm worried
don't.
about his
Vampire
high pitched
Sparkle,
ass
nothing
voice.
about him.
Someone.
He's a very good actor. So I think, depending on what age,
I don't know if I trust it when you say someone's a
He
good
is.
actor,
He is.
man. That you've shown
He's a
that
good
you
actor.
know, your
Who's the
gauge
best
of what's
actor?
a good actor is.
Daniel's favorite actor.
Oh, I don't. Michael Fassbender probably right now. But no, he's a fucking. He is Twilight was so shitty to his career as an actor. Like,
look at how much of a fucking weenie he looks like, dude.
I'm just saying that depending on when he has the chin. Depending on
Does he have he has a Joker chin?
No, he has the chin. You put a cowl on that, there probably has some Photoshop.
The lighting will make it good.
But no, what I'm saying is depending on what age they portray him as, I don't know. He could, if he bulks up, he could bulk up for it.
No.
Because he's committed. He's an actual actor is what I'm saying. He's not fucking Jacob, whatever that Jacob's name
real
was.
Actor.
What was Jacob's name?
Jacob. Who?
Yeah, the wolf in Twilight.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, it's not like that. What a lot of people look at him like that though, where he's just like I.
But even the indie films that you talk about, they're all I like.
Okay, do you like Kirsten Stewart? Well,
you
have to watch them. We already know if you don't watch it, it's not the same thing. It's just not.
That's why you're gonna watch them.
But I read the premises of the films.
But that has nothing to do with him. He didn't write or direct them.
But still, the kind of films he's doing are still like.
That doesn't make a difference to your performance.
If all you're doing is romance films or films that have to do with that kind of stuff, even if it's an indie version,
they're not.
Like there's one film that people kept talking about where he's like the leader of a gang or something like that, and then you read the fucking premise of the film,
but you need to watch the movie.
But the premise is still romance is a major angle of the story.
But it
has nothing to do with Batman beating up fucking bad guys in Gotham.
But he's an actor. I think that's kind of fucked up to say that he can't.
You know why people were excited about Christian Bale? Because of the fucking Gun Fu movie.
Maybe, and then he showed that he could act because he did some indie shit. Like, I look at Christian Bale as an actor. Here. I don't look at him as Equilibrium, and I've never even seen that movie. I'm just saying that I don't think it's fair to judge without seeing how the final product turns out. Like, because you just don't know. We don't know what the performance. I mean, before the CW announced that they were doing the 1989 Batman, Kat had the theory that he was actually going to be like a Batman Beyond,
right? And
then Michael Keaton was going to be in it, and that would have been interesting to see how. But now that they're doing this 1989 thing on the CW show, now I don't believe that anymore. But
here's the problem with this. All right, he might fucking nail it and do an awesome job as Batman, but you casting him, you're setting yourself up for failure if he doesn't fucking nail it.
Oh, 100%. You're painting a big target on your back.
Right.
But I like the director.
Well, because you're a big fan of the Planet of the Apes films.
And I think they're serious enough to where I don't know. I think because the way I look at the planet, and maybe it's going to be different. Cause he's just looking for the most fucking.
You trying to find? Have you found the most Bruce Wayne looking picture yet? Is that it?
Look, man, I'm gonna be a defender, and I hope to say I told you so. But we'll see what happens when the movie comes out. Do you like Kristen Stewart?
No, she's a terrible actor.
Okay, and
I've seen her enough.
When she was a little girl. But I think she does her roles fine. Like she's whatever character she plays, it's fine. But it never blows me out of the water. And I think in your mind, you think that she's a better actor than he is.
No,
I think so.
No,
he was in Harry Potter first.
So then, where would you get? Who would you equate to his acting ability? Miles Teller.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, see, so then already, and I don't think Miles Teller's a bad actor. So, I don't.
It's not about his acting. It's about his fucking face, man. His face. It's his face. I can't stand his fucking face. This guy does not look like Bruce Wayne to me, man.
You sound like one of those people who fucking can't make Superman black.
You can't make Superman black. We've already talked about that.
Well, people are talking about Catwoman being black.
She's gonna be the third black Catwoman. That's a little different.
There's no
the first Catwoman that anyone saw on TV was black. And then they did that shitty movie with Halle Berry. The Catwoman one is so fucking stupid but
is a comic book?
It's not the first. The comic book's not, but
that's where the argument.
Most people, the first exposure they had to Batman was this stupid Adam West.
It is not stupid.
It was awful. It was fun for little kids. That's why little kids were watching a thing that came out 40 years before.
I don't think you've seen it in a while. It's pretty cool. It is. It fucking is.
It's just so bad.
It's not.
Look at Robin.
It is fucking. Robin is like the biggest beta in the history.
Burt Ward.
Robin's just like fucking. Just.
Why they do him like that? I never watched it.
You need to. You fucking need to. It's great. It's a great show. They have Batman everything. Batman shark repellent. Like fuck. It's funny. I like it. And they actually show villains in the fucking show. Like consistently.
It's super campy.
But it's very
definitely...
it's very much like a comic book though, in that way. Obviously the comic books are even they're more serious, but it's like an adventure a week. Every episode was its own little contained story.
Right.
Like a comic book. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it's only fair for you to watch the movie before.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Even the casting.
It's just gonna get really hard.
It's like Ben Affleck. I don't know.
It's like Channing Tatum, man.
See,
I couldn't get past Channing Tatum until 20. Still to this day, the only movies I can deal with Channing Tatum is the 21 Jump Street films.
And that's because you won't watch movies that he's in. You have no interest in watching other movies.
He was terrible in the Coen Brothers film.
I didn't see that movie. And if that's true, it would dispel my theory that when you pair him with a good director, he puts in a good performance. Like people talk shit about him in Hateful Eight. I don't think he did bad at all in Hateful Eight. I think the idea of his character being used in that way was bad, but I don't think he did a bad job in the movie.
I mean, I can't even fairly judge his performance because that movie all around was so bad. Then.
But I'm just saying, there's that. There's I hope one day we can get him on Fred Raskin, because I guess he knows Cat. I'd love to ask him about the editing process with the movie. Those are like the early serials from like the 30s.
No, 40s.
40s. Okay, I was wrong, because 30s Batman wasn't really out yet.
Superman came on the scene in 1939.
Yeah, so he wasn't out yet.
43, 49, 66.
I fucking forgot that Alicia Silverstone was in that.
Yeah, it's Batwoman at the very end.
Yeah, those movies were so bad that I've
Robin?
just completely wiped them from my.
Robin.
I've completely wiped them from my
He had
memory.
nipples.
He had nipples.
The bat nipples.
Why did she has nipples?
Yeah, dude, those. It's amazing how far these things have come, for sure.
Talk about campy. Those are campy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah.
I like Batman Forever though.
I actually like Batman Forever too. People always look at me crazy. I'm like, I
think it's a good comic
I think Val Kilmer did a pretty good job as Batman, and people seem to hate him. Like George Clooney was awful.
I thought Val Kilmer was good. I thought Jim Carrey as the Riddler was good. I like Two-Face. I like Tommy Lee Jones. I like them together. No, but they went with it.
Yeah.
They committed to the role. Like Tommy Lee Jones committed.
They were definitely caricatures though, for sure.
Well, yeah, but it's a comic book. I feel like it was a straight up comic book movie.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.